Hello there, this is Szinegh with Exp Real Estate in the Tampa Bay / Wesley Chapel area. One of the things we need to talk about is interest rates. It seems to be in the news all the time. And I thought I'd kind of go back in history and take a look at what interest rates used to look like. In 1964, I arrived in Toronto, Canada, and we rented a house. My dad did not want to pay the enormously high interest rates of 5%. So he rented a house which was worth about $10,000 at the time, and that house, the rent was about $100 a month. If he would have bought that same house and paid the interest rates with the banks, and he didn't trust the banks, he didn't like the banks with all the interest rates, that house 10 years later, when he passed away in 1973, was worth about $100,000. Interest rates kept changing and fluctuating over the years, and it hit an absolute high of around 22% in 1983. What's interesting is that I joined real estate in 1983. I owned a house. My mortgage rates, interest rates on my mortgage was 17.75%. You know, I really laugh at the people today when they complain about the interest rates of being 5 and 6 and 7%. But these people didn't take advantage of it when it was 2 and 3%. When I moved to the United States in 2002, they were giving money away. My mortgage, I had a $500,000 mortgage on my beautiful house, and it was 1% floating rate. 1%. I was paying about $500 a month for a house that was worth about $650,000 because my mortgage was 1%. The thing I didn't understand back then is that things are going to shift. And in 2006, there started to be a house shortage. In 2008, the market crashed. Well, my mortgage rates went up, kept going up 4, 5, 6, 7, 8% because I was in a floating rate. It hit 10%, and things are fluctuating all the time. Right now, the average mortgage rate is about 6.5%, depending who you talk to and who's going to buy it down, how many points you have to pay, and so forth. But the reality of it is, if you look at inflation since 1964, it averaged 4.24%. That was the average inflation. So, you look at the price of housing, the price of real estate, you look at interest rates. Listen, in 1964, a dozen eggs cost 35 cents. What is it, like $2.50, $3? Some places I paid as much as $4.50 for a dozen eggs. So it depends. Again, there's a huge fluctuation. The reality of it is this. One thing I know since 1964, and I should have stuck with that when I spoke to people, they say, don't wait to buy real estate and wait. And I didn't do that. It took me quite a few years before I bought my first house. I bought it in 1973 when already things were going up. And, eventually I kept trading up and getting the equity out of the house. And I ended up with a 17.75% mortgage when I got into real estate in 1983. Here's the reality of it. Okay, take advantage of the rates right now because they're going to go up again. The Fed is going to increase rates. They're going to play with the economy a little bit. Nobody knows where it's going to all go. If I had a crystal ball, I would be like a zillionaire. I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you or having to sell real estate or do anything. I wouldn't have a job because I would have so much money because I could predict the future. Unfortunately, it's not like in that movie Back to the Future. We can't go back and check out what the rates are going to be and then how to predict the real estate market. Reality of it is this. If you're looking to buy or sell real estate, let's chat. Let's take a look at it, your position. Let's look at your interest rates. Let's look at your size of your mortgage. Let's look at what you're really, really looking for. That's what makes the difference. The cost of an extra 0.5%, 0.75%, 1% in interest rates over the long term, when you're buying a house, it's insignificant because the value of homes keep rising. If you look at a house in the Tampa Bay area that you purchased for $10,000 back in the 60s, it's worth $150,000, $200,000 right now. So, again, inflation takes care of it. So really, don't worry about it. It's going to change. One thing, Robert Kiyosaki, a famous guy, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, said to me, This too will change. When the market is a seller's market, it changed. It was a buyer's market, it's going to change. It continually keeps fluctuating and changing and adjusting. Anyways, this is Alex Szinegh. I hope you enjoyed my little rant. Have yourself a fabulous day. I'm going to go back to the pool. I'm sitting in Costa Rica just enjoying the beautiful sunshine. Take care.